The moment I found the earring, my stomach turned so violently, I had to grip the bathroom sink to keep myself from collapsing. It glimmered beside my perfume bottle, an unfamiliar rose gold teardrop with a tiny crack along the edge. Not mine. Too delicate, too cheap, too full of someone else's scent. My pulse throbbed in my throat. It wasn't the earring itself that broke me. It was the quietness of the house, the way it seemed to hold its breath, as if even the walls knew the truth before I allowed my mind to form it. He'd had her here, in our bathroom, in our home. I stood there, listening to my heart pound like a trapped thing. I tried to rationalize it could belong to a colleague, a cousin, a friend visiting. But my brain gave me those excuses while my body already knew. My fingers trembled as I picked it up. A faint whisper of vanilla perfume lingered on the metal. Not mine. And suddenly the world felt too small, too sharp. By the time I confronted Adam, my voice was trembling with anger I tried to disguise as composure. He sat on the couch, scrolling through emails, shoulders relaxed, completely unaware that I was seconds away from detonating the life we'd built. "Whose earring is this?" I asked. His hand froze. He didn't look up. There it was, the first confession, the silence. When he finally raised his eyes, guilt flickered there, small, quick, but unmistakable. And that was enough. "I'm sorry," he whispered, breath shaky. "It happened once. I didn't mean—" "Her name," I demanded. His jaw tightened. "Maya." The name thudded in my chest like a fist. My assistant at the time had a cousin named Maya. She'd come to the office a few times. A pretty girl with nervous hands and too large eyes. I remembered Adam staring a little too long. I told myself I imagined it. Denial. Such a loyal, pathetic friend. "I want a divorce," I said, surprising even myself with the steadiness of my voice. His breath hitched. "Elena, please. Don't." But something inside me had snapped clean through. A woman can only stretch herself so thin before she finally breaks. The papers were signed in 3 months. The silence between us felt like a funeral. I wasn't expecting to see Maya again. But one afternoon, while reviewing applications for a new executive assistant, her name appeared on the list. Maya Bennett. My heart lurched. She had applied to my company. For a moment, I hovered over the delete button. The reasonable thing would have been to remove her, forget her, move on. But my pain had formed a colder, quieter edge. A desire to understand. To see her face. To confront the ghost that had ruined my marriage. So I invited her for an interview. When she stepped into my office, she looked smaller than I remembered. Nervous. Her eyes flicked everywhere except at me. "Elena," she whispered, voice thin. I didn't know this was your company. If I had known, Sit," I said calmly, folding my hands. "Let's talk." Her fingers twisted in her lap. She looked like she was preparing to be thrown out. "Good. Why did you apply here?" I asked. Her voice trembled. "I needed a fresh start. What happened between me and Adam? I regret it. I was stupid. Lonely. He told me things that—" I lifted a hand, stopping her. "I didn't want excuses. Not yet. And you're prepared to work closely with me?" I asked. She swallowed hard. "Yes." "Good. You're hired." Her eyes widened with disbelief. "I'm sorry? What?" "You heard me." And so it began. For the next 3 weeks, Maya walked on eggshells. She arrived early, left late, and did everything with the caution of someone expecting punishment at any second. She was skittish, overly polite, and painfully eager to please. It almost annoyed me how young she looked. Too young to have been part of destroying a marriage. But that didn't absolve her. Every time she flinched when I called her name, a small part of me felt vindicated. Not satisfied, just acknowledged. She wanted forgiveness. I wanted her discomfort. But then something unexpected happened. One afternoon, while we were finalizing a vendor agreement, she whispered, "I know you hired me, so I'd be miserable enough to quit." I looked up sharply. She wasn't wrong. But hearing it said aloud made the room tilt. She continued, voice trembling but honest, "I deserve that. I know I do. But I want you to know, he lied to me too. He said your marriage was basically over. He said you barely spoke, that you didn't love him anymore." Her breath caught. I didn't know I was helping him destroy something real. Her eyes glistened, not manipulative, not performative, Just human. Broken. Something in me cracked open. Because suddenly, I wasn't seeing the villain I'd built in my head. I was seeing the insecure, foolish girl who had wanted to be loved by someone who was never honest with either of us. "You can quit," I said softly. "You don't owe me anything." She shook her head fiercely. "I want to stay. I want to be someone better than what I was." And in that moment, an unexpected truth settled inside me. Adam had lied to both of us. He had manipulated both of us. And strangely, beautifully, painfully, Maya and I were standing on the same side of a wound he created. Weeks passed. Healing crept in quietly. One morning, Maya placed a coffee on my desk, my exact order, perfectly prepared, and said, "Thank you for not firing me that first day." I met her gaze. "Thank you for not quitting." For the first time, we both smiled. Not as enemies, not as rivals, but as two women finally stepping out of the shadow of a man who didn't deserve either of us. The twist wasn't revenge. The twist was that healing came from the last place I expected. The woman I once hired to break.